Now, Mitch Firestein, you can't taper a Ponzi. There are 12 trillion in negative yielding bonds. Is this, the U.S. is going to go negative soon, Mitch?
Max, we've discussed this before. Deutsche Bank is on the brink of insolvency. One of the banks that has huge derivatives exposure that it's impossible for regulators to figure out exactly what's going on there. Negative interest rate policy has generated almost $14 trillion globally of negative interest rate yielding bonds. I don't know why anybody would buy those bonds. It's insanity. I mean, it's part of the European Union. The reason why the European Union will fail. It is a failed project. I think that, one of the biggest issues right now with the European Union is that Italy has $4 trillion in debt that can never be repaid. So the interest rates keep coming down because their GDP is so tepid and anemic that it's impossible to repay the debt. And I think there are problems with the other European nations as well now that we're entering into a bit of a recession. This is problematic from a number of different perspectives. So the single currency euro has really failed. The EU project is extremely flawed, and the banking system has never been recapitalized to the point that it needs to be. I don't know who would step up to the plate and do that besides the European Central Bank. The central banks have become the world's biggest rogue hedge funds with no accountability whatsoever. The problem with this is they provide bailout infinity, and the next step is going to be bail-ins. So what's happening is the debt fight that France has, Spain, Portugal, and Italy, which are significant, can never be repaid. So what they've done is created a permanent low interest rate environment. And the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Powell, came out and did a 180-degree turnaround, saying that he was going to raise rates, now saying he's going to cut rates, and asking for more political power to use even more exceptional tactics by the Federal Reserve, one of which I'm sure will be the negative interest rate policy implementation that you mentioned, Max, because they don't really have, I believe they don't have any more bullets in the gun. And we're reaching the end of the Ponzi scheme where we've got to have a crescendo where there will be an explosion of one sort or another. So I think that we will see something happen soon. I'm fairly confident that none of this debt can be repaid and they just can't grandfather it. So the way it works out, or the actual trigger, what they blame it on, is anybody's guess.